Okay, before that, let me introduce myself. Hello everyone, my name is Owen Kurniawan Kartika. I'm from SE4 class. And today in this video, so this is the video that I created for Tugas, task number 3 for the web programming with framework. So this is the middle test video that will be demonstrate about my website, that is Snapme booking system. So this is the Laravel login in website. Then if we press the login, it will show the view for the Snapme login. Okay, first of all, what is this website for? So Snapme website is a reservation management application for Snapme Self Studio Photo. So the main goals is to give a scheduled expiration for the client in real time, and also to give the studio admin a more easier way to control the reservation, viewing the session, and sending and also creating and sending the photo image in Drive, and also the invoice. So in this application, there's two main user. The first one is an admin that control of the schedule, and also the client that will booking or reserve the slot dependently. Okay, let's first I will by architecture. This website is using 3 main steps. That is through the Laravel. It's using Laravel first, then it will be sent to the initial.js. Then the last one is React. So it's using Laravel monolith with initial.js. So the Laravel working as the backend, controlling of the routing, database, and authentication using Laravel Brace. Initial.js is act as a bridge between Laravel and React at the front end. So if there's a switch between pages, it will be filled without loading, without on reload, and it didn't have to make a different REST API. So for the database, because this was a testing using Laravel first, then it will be sent to the initial.js. Then the last one is React. So it's using Laravel monolith with initial.js. So the Laravel working as the backend, controlling of the routing, database, and authentication using Laravel Brace. Initial.js is act as a bridge between Laravel and React at the front end. So if there's a switch between pages, it will be filled without loading, without on reload, and it didn't have to make a different REST API. So for the database, because this was a testing, I'm using MySQL, and also for the styling, I am using Tailwind CSS with some component from Sans UI. Okay, so because I run it locally, first of all, of course, I run it using npm run dev, then I using PHP artisan serve. So this website is still run locally in my computer. So here I'm already opening the link or the connection to the Snapme. Okay, this is the authentication web page. So in this login, we can only log in as two users. First one is admin, then the second one is as a customer. So the admin need to input the email that was used as an admin and also the password. But if you are logged in as a customer, we don't need any authentication because I want to make it as a public. But how it works is later as a customer, they still need to input their name and the booking. Okay, first let's check into the admin dashboard. Okay, so this is the admin dashboard. So for the dashboard, there's a statistic resume or the summary. There's total booking, how many days that we have booking for today, how many hours that is active, the people come, then the studio distribution between the lower studio and upper studio, and how many people that didn't come or cancel the booking. So we can filter it based on days, weeks, and month. So this filter is working as efficiently using hook use memo in the React. So we don't have to call any API request every time the filter is changed. In the table, we can every booking can be click the detail to see the details. You can edit it and also delete it. So this is the info details. So this is the edit and this is the delete booking. Okay, let's go to the main feature of this website. That is interactive timeline. So this is timeline booking. Yeah. So timeline page is the core of this website. Here, admin can see all of the booking for today's in a Gantt chart style. So the upper studio this is the upper studio timeline and this is the lower studio timeline. So we create also so that admin don't have to go to the dashboard again to add a booking. So here the admin can immediately add a booking here also. So let's first try it. Let's see, we're gonna add the booking in the lower studio. So here we can insert the customer name, WhatsApp number, what kind of booking that they want, and also in what type. Okay. There's also drag and drop feature. If you want to test how it feels, so it feels this. Yep. So we can drag to the lower, upper, left, and right. So when the customer is already come, so let's see, we test it here. So we edit it first to haven't come, then we change it to arrive. Like this. Yep. Then we can start it now, like that. So when the time, here we can see the time started. So this data is synchronized in the server via endpoint API booking pulsing, but because this website haven't been launched on the internet, so I save it first in local storage and sync it to the website from my computer locally. Okay, the next one is the live timer. Here we can see the timer page. So there will be 2 cards that show the work of the session, which session is already started. Instead of this also can change the color. So let's say here is basic putih or white basic, but if we change this to another color, we change it to basic abu. Okay. Then there we can see that color is also changed. And when the time is already up, we can see that later it will be have a sound like this. So let's try it in the timeline booking. Yep, it will sound like that. Give a notification sound. But that also can be mute by the admin or not. Okay, so this is all of the before that, let's see the settings. In settings, the admin can add the data of the package that was available in the studio, like this. Hmm. Okay, so that's all of for the admin feature. The next one is as a customer. Okay, so this is the website page for the customer. It can be accessed without a login authentication. So it's showing a slot, time slot for the calendar for the upper and lower studio for today and also for the next day available. Slot that already been booked will have a different color like this. If the color is purple, so that means it's available, and if it's already booked, then it will be give on gray accent like this, and it cannot be clicked. We also add a feature that is customer can add, book more than one session like this. So it's will show 4 sessions like this, book 4 sessions like this. But if we try in this, it cannot be booked because there's already a session that is booked before after that time. So after the client entering their name, it will automatically sync to the database. Let's see. Let's test it this. Yes. Now let's log in again to the admin. Okay, let's restart again. So this is the customer booking page. So this is the view for the client. So they don't have to log in, don't have to use authentication. It shows all of the schedule slot that was available on that day. So for the upper studio and below studio. Here, let me try. So the slot is what that was available is shown in purple color. And if the slot is already booked, we show in gray color or accent, and it cannot be clicked by the client. Let's restart again. So this is the customer booking page. So this is the view for the client. So they don't have to log in, don't have to use authentication. It shows all of the schedule slot that was available on that day. So for the upper studio and below studio. Here, let me try. So the slot is what that was available is shown in purple color. And if the slot is already booked, we show in gray color or accent, and it cannot be clicked by the client. Okay. So here's the feature is the client can book a few sessions like this. It can 2 session, 3 session, 4 session. Let's try one. Let's say the name is test. So let's write that the number. Okay, now let's confirmation. So it say the booking is successfully. Let's log in as an admin to test it. Okay, let's start again. So this is the customer booking page. It can be accessed without login like this. So it don't need any authentication. And it's showing up all of the time slot for available schedule on that day. So okay, here it show all of the available. It show in purple color, and if it already booked, it will show in gray color. And the system will be automatically validate that whether all of the slot is available or not. And the admin didn't have to confirm manually because it's already automatically inserted to the system. Okay, let's try to book it for upper studio. So here there's at 6:30. Let's say the name is test book atas 2. So let's add the number 2. Okay, then confirmation. Okay, let's go login as an admin. Let's test whether the data is confirmed or not. Okay, here test book atas 2 is already confirmed. Yep. Okay, then there's a new additional feature for the admin that is the booking or invoice. So from the dashboard, booking letter or invoice is showing the summary of the full summary of one transaction. So it's the ID is fully automatically generated from the ID booking, and one session is counted as a dynamic, not a static value. And if the session is already done or the client is not coming, they will be showing tidak datang or sedang foto, and if it's not, it's already belum datang. Okay, let's say this. Let's say this one is textbook is already done. Textbook is done. So here we can see that textbook is done, and we also can edit how the customer pay like this. Like this. And we can also print the invoice like this. But the invoice display is still not fully yet. Okay. Okay, that's all of the feature of the website. Now let's continue to the main code explanation. So here I was using anti-gravity as the IDE. And okay, first let's go to the timeline. So here I will be explaining about set pending change. So this is the mechanism of synchronization that I use. So when the admin changing the data, just let me pending, here pending key will be marked in the session storage. So when this flag is active, the server will automatically not stack all of the local data in 5 seconds, and the flag will be deleted when the synchronization is successful. So this blocking the problem with from the developers. I have a problem with data is back to normal when every time I change it. That I found. Okay, the next one is in the booking. Okay, so I'll be explaining use memo. So before the status invoice is always showing waiting for arrival or menunggu kedatangan. So I fix it with closing the logic use memo that count the status based on the time status arrive and is transaction finished. So the result is more accurate. Then the last one is in customer dashboard. Okay, so in the beginning, I only use one session confirmation, but I found it that sometimes the client want to do more than one session. So I use this get max consecutive slot for adding a feature of multi-session booking. So, but this also count that the client cannot stack the session if there's a book session after them. So they have to choose a time where there's a 2 until 4 available session if they want to do more than one session. Okay, so this is the final explanation about my website. That is the problem that I made and the solution. I found there's two main problems when I'm developing this website. The first one is the booking data suddenly revert to normal after the admin doing a change. The cost is the polling server 5 seconds that stacks the stack rate. And the solution is I'm using the mechanism that has been changed that I previously explained in session storage. Then second one is there's sometimes a white screen after refactoring the component from GSX to TSX. The problem is the VT that direct it to blade in the blade that try to find the TSX dynamically but failed. So for the solution, I simplified VT, add VT to the entry point only, that is to add GSX, because import method lock is already done out of the resolution in the component. And there's also some problem recently earlier when I tried to do this video because I changed some of the code before. From the customer data that was booked, it didn't enter it successfully to the admin because there's some error in the synchronization of the data. Okay, that's all for my website. I'm sorry for all the mistakes that I said, and sorry for the inconvenience that is there's some error and I fixed it earlier. Thanks.